Hello everyone, very good morning. Welcome to this session. I hope people are doing well. Just a moment, let me just. I hope people are doing well. So I wanted to talk about this. I wanted to talk a little about because what happens ki we start talking about accuracy. We start talking about the kind of RCs, the kind of questions. We start talking about so many aspects of so many aspects around cat, how to take, how not to take, what to buy, what not to buy. We start talking about para jumbles and para summary and this and that. But I thought ki we leave a very important aspect behind that reading comprehension में the most important part is reading and comprehending whatever you have read. So if you are able to, if you have this spark or you have this direction, this intent or this guidance, for example, I'll give an example. You solve numbers. You solve complex number based problems. And you feel ki when you are doing that, when you're doing your number based problems, you feel that ki okay, I get it, but if somebody would have made them understand ki why we are doing it, or somebody gave me this interesting view on numbers, or somebody developed my interest in numbers, in that way. So this thing comes up that to give you that tool, that skill, okay, so that you, whenever you read something, you can answer questions. You have a better understanding, a better command, a better grip over whatever has been said. Okay, so I thought let's not do any questions. Let's just talk about let's take up some paragraphs and let's try and break those paragraphs down, and let's understand that if a question came on this paragraph, or if this paragraph was an RC, or if this paragraph is what we have to solve and manage, what is a summary, what is the primary purpose, what is a central idea, what is a theme. Okay, so my name is Anupam. Please download and install on Academy app. Please subscribe to on Academy, and I think it's an amazing investment into future. We offer a lot of so An Academy as a future has an investment into a future is amazing. I think you people should invest. Why? Because we have hundreds and hundreds of topic wise tests, mock test, sectional test. We have every fourth class of a plus course is a doubt solving class. Every every course which we are doing for you people, that course, the plus courses, the questions you can ask doubts, you can, so it's an amazing investment into your future. The pricing is most amazing. It's 18,900 for 24 months subs for 24-month subscription, and the entire idea is to sort of that you start early, and you sort of that you sort of do it early, and you sort of do it early, and you start doing things early, and if you start early, you will be able to crack things earlier. So please subscribe to An Academy. I think you can look at our free content, our YouTube, and our special classes, that you get to know that what we do and the kind of commitment which we have. So I think we've discussed this also, that once reading skills, they evolve. One evolves one's reading skills over a period of time. So it is over a period of time when the reading skills are evolved, or your reading skills are improved over a span of time. There is an improvement of skills. So you read and you understand, and then you go ahead. You sort of you read more, and you read from a variety of genres. One reads, and what happens? What ultimate agenda is that if they give you a topic, and if they expect, and if they give you 5 RCs, okay, and 5 RCs has some 18 questions, or some 20 questions, or they give you 5 RCs, and 5 RCs have got some 24 questions. Then you attempt 20, and you get at least 17 or 18 or 19 right. And how you will get right? You will have to avoid that one RC which is complex, which is difficult. One thing. Second thing is that you have to avoid getting stuck on any question and keep moving forward. Now this will happen only through practice. Okay, so one thing that practice should happen, and one more thing, that it's not that you are not able to read and understand, because the questions are inference based. So that skill should also come. Practice this skill. And another thing, that you should not get afraid of reading. See what happens, that if you don't read diverse topics, if you don't read English language at all, after 2 minutes you would say it's very difficult for me, or it's very complex, or it's very new. Because in general, mostly Indians, even if we are from metros and all, in our homes we speak our native language mostly. With the friends also, we mostly speak our native language. It's in some schools, some colleges, and some parts of India where I see a culture in Mumbai and Bangalore and Delhi, and some families have this culture of talking in English, okay, or talking with their friends in English. So that is a very that happens mostly in metros and in Mumbai and in Bangalore and in certain parts of, say, other cities, certain other city areas of because the problem is that in these cities people come from multiple culture backgrounds, or they are from multilingual backgrounds. Those cities are cosmopolitan. So since people from all across the world and all across the country come, they talk in English as a lingua franca. Lingua franca means the language in which people speak. But even the people who speak English very well, even they have to go through a process, even they have to study hard, even they have to put in that required amount of effort. So let's quickly come down. See, this is one piece I've taken for you people. This is an excerpt from an actual CAT RC. Okay, This is an excerpt from an actual CAT RC. Sorry, just a moment. What is this piece talking about? If I want to ask you, what is the purpose of this first paragraph? Just answer me. Let's read it. Purpose of the, just forget about CAT and RC and all that. So just purpose of first paragraph. Free of the taint of manufacture. That phrase means this phrase in particular is heavily loaded with the ideology of what Victorian socialist William Morris called anti-scrape. Anti-scrape or an anti-capitalist conservationism, not conservatism, that solaces itself with the vision of pre-industrial golden age. So they're talking about what? They are talking about that they use a term, and that term is referring to before industrialism came. They consider that as a golden age. They have this nostalgic emotion, or an emotion of that golden past or the golden age of a historical period, in which things were of certain kind, people were of certain way, the culture was in a certain way, and that longing for that is what they're calling as free of the taint of manufacture. So they have this anti-capitalist, so that's why I say the Victorian. So there's a socialism about it. It is not capitalist, in a certain way. And in Britain, so what is that? So they're talking about that there is a certain idea. Okay? There's a certain idea about a golden age that used to happen before the steam engine came, before the factories were set up, before the mechanical engines were being utilized to mass produce bulk items. Okay, when the entire industrial revolution happened in Europe, they're talking about a time before it. Okay, and there's an idea, there's a notion, there's an emotion attached to it. Okay, in Britain, folk may appear as a cozy fossil form, but when you look more closely, the idea of folk, who has the right to sing it, dance it, invoke it, collect it, belong to it or appropriate it for cultural or political ends, has always been contested territory. So they're saying that in Britain, folk music has a cozy fossil form, that there is this idea, this notion, this vision of, like the mentioned, vision of pre-industrial golden age, and there's a cozy fossil form, but at the same time it has been utilized, or it has been adopted, or it has been sung, or it has been practiced and modified and professed and utilized or given up by a lot of people. Okay, and it is and a lot of people have used it for their own purposes, for political and for culture ends. So if you ask me that what is the purpose of the first paragraph, the first paragraph is to inform the audience, inform the audience about that the reader inform reader about about uh, the historical, about the idea of a historical golden period before industrial revolution. Okay, and this, and the second point is that they are talking about what they are talking about, that uh, there is a certain amount of and then they say that folk music, which is connected to this period, has been uh, incorporated by many for their interest. So in this short way, you can sort of talk about ki, haan, this is what is happening. This paragraph is talking about. Now what happens, why, if you write this, now any kind of question which comes up about the inference or about the understanding of the first paragraph, you will be able to manage. The question is, sir, we don't have that much of privilege, that much time in our actual RC when we're actually solving it. So the thing is that initially you can write, you don't need not write in long sentences, but you can still write a purpose of the paragraph or the central idea of the paragraph, or you can do a merger of them, because this particular line here is not exactly the primary purpose. It is it's somewhere and a marriage of, somewhere we are marrying central idea and primary purpose both. This line was actually in a way both serving as a primary purpose and as a central idea of the, because the thing is, no, we are not here to excel in writing primary purpose, or excel in writing summaries, or excel in writing central idea. We are here to excel in solving out of say 24 questions, we should be able to solve around 20 to 21 questions in a span of 40 minutes roughly. That is the idea. And when we end this process, and that will be able to end if the foundation is strong. If the foundation of this entire story is strong, then it will be able to do it. So informing the reader about the idea of a historical golden period before industrial revolution, folk and folk music which connected to this period, which can be connected to, I think, which can be connected to this period, has been incorporated by many for their interest. Okay. what happens is that the questions which they ask you, actually, they are actually all central idea or primary purpose based. They're basically inference based question. So when they are going to ask inference based question, I always discuss that in inference based question, what happens is that they are having this agenda, they are having this idea, they somewhere do get it, that without solving the RCs themselves, without writing the summary of the piece themselves, they might not be able to they might not be able to solve, to create good questions for you, right? So they also write summaries, primary purpose, central idea when they're writing questions. Because if you read the questions, because I've been a content writer myself, and believe me, trust me, writing questions is not easy. Okay, you have to break down the RC into smaller parts. Okay, you have to redo and recheck a lot of times in case any option, in case two options are correct, in case two options are same, in case two options more than say if more than one option is correct, then why it is correct, and how you can modify it to make it the wrong one. Or things like say why a particular answer is correct. So you have to be very cautious. Can the question be answered without the knowledge, without reading the RC also? Because sometimes certain questions are based on common sense, on logic, on general awareness, GK questions. Something about general knowledge or common sense is written there. So you have to modify the questions in such a way that in a certain way that one can only answer the question after one has read the RC properly, and then only one can answer the question. Okay. Now this talks about something different. Same RC, one more paragraph. In our old time, the word folk has achieved the rare distinction of occupying fashionable and unfashionable status simultaneously. So they are saying that the word folk has achieved the rare distinction of occupying fashionable and unfashionable at the same time. Folk has been fashionable and unfashionable, just as effusive floral prints of the radical William Morris now covered genteel sofas. So one certain prints were amazing. They were like they were very new design, but now they're covering sofas. So the revolutionary intentions of many folk artists, folk historians, and revivalists have led to music that is commonly regarded as parochial and conservative. Now they're saying that folk music is also seen which is sometimes seen as very something which brings a groundbreaking revolution, but at the same time it is very parochial, means it has very narrow, very closed door, not free, not being flexible about it, basically. And conservative means we very connected to your value systems and your culture, and not being rigid or being very rigid, not being very flexible, not very open to the new modern culture, and yet or basically being not open to a lot of experiment and changes, and yet as newspaper columns periodically rejoice, the folk is hip again. So they are saying that newspaper columns, they rejoice, folk is hip again, and it influences artists, clothing, furniture designers, and celebrated as at music festivals, award ceremonies, and on TV, reissued on countless record labels. Folk is a sonic shabby chick containing elements of uncanny, eerie, as well as a antique veneer, a whiff of Britain's heathen dark ages, the very obscurity and anonymity of folk music's origin open up space for rampant imaginative fancy. How can we summarize this piece? So this piece, if you see the purpose was to again inform the audience, or to talk about, or to discuss that folk has been seen as something which is very advanced, something which is very groundbreaking, path-breaking, very very unconventional. At the same time, it has also been seen as something that is very rigid and not open to improvements, or not open to any experimentation. It has been seen in both the ways. Okay, and there are times when the newspaper columns say that okay, folk is in again, it's in fashion again, and folk music also has this unique old world charm of like I mentioned in the world, there is a certain amount of nostalgia about it, and it has an uncanny, like they use the word uncanny and eerie. Uncanny and eerie is something which is mysterious in a certain dangerous way, and there is an antique antique fragrance to it, of a Britain's old ages, before Britain became it the people in Britain, they adopted Christianity as their religion. So this is how it is. So the very obscurity and anonymity of folk music's origin open up space for rampant imaginative fancy. So they're saying that this inability to understand, and inability to understand, being difficult to understand, being difficult to be less known, and being difficult to understand. That's the meaning of being obscure. And the idea behind being anonymity, being not known, that has opened up space for rampant fancies. The people have some fancies around it. This is the idea. Okay. So if you take this idea, how can we how can we write say a central idea of this? Or let's try and write okay, what will be the title of this particular, the title of this piece can be that folk musics is say folk music's old world charm, or you can also say that key folk music. So let's go it. So they were talking about that being fashionable and unfashionable. That's first thing. Okay, people using it. Okay, It's old world charm. Okay. Magic of folk music comes and goes, because we are covering this idea that magic, that the magic which folk music does, uh, it sort of comes and goes. So we are covering both of these ideas, right? That we are. So I'm sure it's not the very best of the, because I'm doing it with you because I wanted it to be very impromptu, because I wanted you to see how I sort of mixed the magic part which is mentioned here, this idea that it is at times it is very in, and at times it is very fashionable, and sometimes it is completely unfashionable. It is not as fashionable. So like I've said, ki it takes certain time and effort, like I've said, that only by a lot of effort and time you will be able to solve, you will be able to gain the command over a variety of genres of writing. So it takes a little bit of time. And like we were discussing, primary purpose and central idea are an amazing window. We use title also here, so we use a title, but but like we discussed here, the primary purpose we mixed here. We use central idea and primary purpose here. So in this way, this I think. Scientists recently discovered that emperor penguins, one of the Antarctica's most celebrated species, employ a particularly unusual technique for surviving the daily chill, as detailed in an article published today in the journal Biology Letters. The birds minimize, so they're talking about that. Sorry for that. There's that scientists, they recently discovered that emperor penguin, one of the Antarctica's most celebrated species, employ a particularly unusual technique for surviving. As detailed in an article published today in the journal Biology Letters, the birds minimize heat loss by keeping the outer surface of the plumage below the temperature of the surrounding air. At the same time, the penguin's thick plumage insulates their body and keeps it toasty. So they are talking about, so we can sort of make a short, say a line or two of purpose here, and then we can solve the RC here. What they're trying to say here is that again it's a cat question. Okay? It's a first paragraph of a RC which came in cat couple of years. Even the previous question was also from an actual cat question paper. They talk about that there is a unusual technique, one, and second, that what is happening, they are minimizing heat loss by keeping their outer surface of the plumage The plumage means the coat. The plumage is a feather in the coat part, basically. Below the temperature of the surrounding air. At the same time, the thick plumage, it insulates body also, and it keeps it toasty. So they're saying that they're saying that how about so if you see, so that the author intends to introduce the article by talking about a technique used by penguins, emperor penguins. They're talking about emperor penguins, about penguins survive the harsh cold weather Antarctica. So in this way, we have sort of made a now why I'm doing this with you? I am doing this with you to make you understand this is the way. Either you have to write the piece, write the summary, write the primary purpose, central idea, or what you understand. Or let's not attach these names, summary, primary purpose, and central idea. Let's just say you have to write in your own words, in 1/3 of the length, or in say 2 lines of 4 words, or 10 to 20 words, whatever they're saying in this particular paragraph here. Right? And this is where, since there are a lot of inference based questions, since there are a lot of questions which can understand the deeper meaning, this technique is going to help you. In this way, what happens is you are able to answer the question with respect to the author's intention. So author's intention, in this way you will be able to answer the so yeah, we'll continue tomorrow. Also, we'll talk about more techniques. All right, please Unacademy subscription offers you live classes. You get to interact with the educator, get live polls, leaderboard, test series. So plus courses are live. The interaction UI interface is much amazing than the Google live chat. We ask quizzes, we ask questions in that. You're a learner. If you do better, then sort of you will be having a ranking system. Test series, there are hundreds and hundreds of tests, topic wise sectional tests, without which you will not be doing well. And you also have a every fourth class is a doubt solving session. Please use the code Saxena SC. Saxena SC is a code for special class. You can use that also, but Saxena Live is what you if you're so both codes are okay if you're using both of the code work the same, but just because we want to keep a track of where you have seen and from where you have come. So if you use the code Saxena Live, get to know that you are coming from YouTube. So yeah, please use the code Saxena Live. Thank you very much.